Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel, and we got the event tie on and the top hollow music going on. Got a little bit of excitement for some exciting stuff coming on, which means it is time for the news. Pokemon Sleep News. Now, what is going on? Now, this is an update that I wasn't really going to make a video for initially. I looked at the update notes, just kind of skimmed through them during my break and stuff at work, and I was looking through it and I was like, okay, this is interesting, but nothing here is enough to warrant an update video. But I changed my mind way later because I noticed one very important thing that is huge that I missed because the devs were sneaky. They were like hiding information in here that they didn't want us to notice initially. Now, maintenance starting on December 16th, or I think that's, yeah, that must be December 16th and 17th. I'm in the US, so we format our dates a little differently than the rest of the world, I guess. But that only makes sense to be 16th to 17th. I don't know if this is local time or your time. I don't know if this updates based off what your timing zone is. If that's local time, then that feels about right. Usually it's around 11:30 to 3 a.m. my time, so I can give you an idea of my time zone. But anyway, changes. So I guess I'll go over the whole thing since I'm making this video anyway. I won't just go over the big thing that I want to touch on. I'll go over the whole thing. So, skill copy. Ditto, Mime Jr., Mr. Mime. If this is exactly the way it reads, then I am a touch disappointed. Not like super disappointed because like it's not like this was going to be game-changing anyway because their ingredient specialists getting to change their skill. But it is a little bit unfortunate if it is exactly as worded, because it says, when either of these new main skills, Transform Skill Copy or Mimic Skill Copy, triggers, the main skill of one randomly chosen helper Pokemon on your team will trigger. That's kind of nice, but like the way that that's worded, that almost that comes off as they are identical to each other. The only difference is that one is Transform and one is Mimic, which I think that's kind of lame, but I still like to see new skills, so I can't complain too much. And like I said, it's on Ingredient Specialist, so it's not like it really matters. I just, like, if they're going to name them differently, I'd like to see them do something different, because I think, or at least a little bit different in functionality. But, oh well, whatever. Minor gripe. But then, a few balances of different Pokemon. They're making the Pikachu holiday a little bit better. Frequency. Anytime we see a frequency shortened, that is a huge buff to a Pokemon. Frequency is the most impactful number for every, like, it is the one number that if you decrease a Pokemon's frequency, it'll get better at every single specialty, no matter what the specialist is. So, seeing that its frequency is shortened definitely helps the Holiday Pikachu. I'm guessing they're probably going to bring it to the same frequency as the Halloween Hat Pikachu, just so that that's, like, in sync with each other. I still don't think it would necessarily give it meta relevance, because it is still a Dream Shard Magnet Pokemon, so it's more just a novelty thing to have the Holiday Hat Pokemon, but they're also increasing its carry limit, which is kind of nice. This is the biggest buff one of the bigger buffs. Otherwise, Arbok getting a frequency boost, that is that is amazing. I'm hoping that's a decent, like, a significant boost, because as of right now, Arbok is, under the right circumstances, you could consider it to be the worst berry specialist in the game. It's right alongside Marowak. It's like those two have kind of been competing for the worst of the worst title. And, yeah, seeing its frequency shortened, that means it is just going to get a boost in power. Frequency is, like, the only stat that matters on berry specialists, so seeing that is awesome for Arbok. I still don't think it'll bring it meta relevance, because it says that it's shortened slightly, which means it's still probably not going to bring it up to the numbers that we would need to see it for it to compete with other berry specialists. I don't think the intent here is to actually make it meta relevant. I think the intent behind this is to make it so that if somebody's using an Arbok, they're not suffering so much. We'll see, though, once the changes actually occur. Cramorant's main skill chance increased slightly. I mean, cool. Its skill is a cool one, and I like the way that it synergizes with Cramorant being an ingredient specialist. But overall, it's an ingredient specialist, so like, this buff is cool, but it's not really adding much strength to the Pokemon itself, especially with the fact that its main skill, the Tasty Chance S, is one that doesn't really benefit that much from more triggers per day. Like, it does benefit, but it gets diminishing returns, so increasing its main skill chance slightly, net for how much value you're going to get out of the skill is so small that it's not really going to be a buff to Cramorant really at all. I do like what they're doing with Comfey. Comfey was notoriously one of the worst ingredient specialists in the game because of its horrendously low ingredient rate. So seeing that they're increasing its ingredient finding chance and also its main skill chance, just kind of nice buffs overall. So overall, I think all of these buffs are welcome ones, but nothing that I think is going to impact really anybody's experience except for those players that are just running their favorites, and their favorites happen to be a Comfey or happen to be a Pikachu holiday hat. Like, I don't think it's anything that's going to actually change anything for how we play the game. Alrighty, so then preparation for the holiday event, not a surprise. That's kind of to be expected right before an event that they're doing the preparation. That's why they're having a a maintenance. Adding a new relaxing sound, also, once again, whatever. Kind of cool, I guess. But then, game contents. Just into the mission screen. This is just a nice quality of life feature. We'll always take it. I do feel a little bit interested in this one. I find this one to be interesting. Changes to the effects and description of the metronome main skill. They're changing it from one main skill chosen randomly out of all main skill to one main skill chosen randomly from a large selection of main skills. Overall, I feel like if they were going to make this nerf, it should have been done by, like, before the legendaries were added. Because if any skill should be not in the pool, I feel like it should be ones that would be exclusive to a legend. Like, it makes sense that only the legends should be able to do it, but at the same time, I feel like a part of what makes Metronome so fun is the complete and total randomness of it. So, like, overall, I don't really like this change. I feel like it kind of hurts the point of what Metronome is, and I feel like if something's going to be available in the game, it should just be able to do it, even no matter how stupid it is. If it is the most broken ability ever that they're copying, and that's game-breaking, you know what? Whatever. Who cares? What are the odds of you rolling it? It might happen 1 week out of a whole month. Like, I don't know. I know it may kind of go against the spirit of, like, the legends and the whole idea of unique skills, and maybe having too many things watering down the pool makes it that you can't get anything reliably, but we'll just have to see with those main skills that'll not be triggered by Metronome. Because the way this is worded, they said, certain special main skills that will be added in the future will not be triggered by Metronome. That implies they're not taking away anything from the pool that's currently there. If they were taking away what exists in the legendary skill, they were taking away Help Boost, or whatever it's called, from them, that would be a nerf. That'd be a significant nerf to the Metronome skill, which it's already one that doesn't really get used all that often other than people that are just trying to have fun with it. So, I just find this change bizarre. Now, the real reason why I decided, all the stuff that was before this, kind of neat. Not really that huge, not really that, like, it's interesting, but I didn't think it warranted a video. But then, I missed this other. I just kind of blew over this, because usually when it says other, it's usually just like bug fixes, or something like some text adjusted or unified, other small bug fixes and adjustment. They put one of the biggest changes to the way this game functions in the other category with this. Adjustments to sleep point exchanges beginning on December 31st at 6 o'clock p.m. That's my time. I don't know how that adjusts for everybody. One main skill seed will be included in the regular exchange. That's doubling the output of main skill seeds for premium players, because the idea behind the way this is worded, you have one in the premium shop, one in the regular shop. And that increases the amount of main skill seed access for free-to-play players by infinity. Before, they were non-renewable resources. You could only get them through badges or occasional events that you'd rely on. Now, what does this mean for the future of the game? That does kind of key in this idea that there might be either that they want to give... I think really a big part of it is that free-to-play players should have access to main skill seeds. I feel like this was one of the mistakes that was made early on. I feel like free-to-play players should have always had access to renewable skill seeds. In fact, one of my ideas that I've had for a long time was I always felt like they should put the main skill seed and maybe even the sub-skill seed in the regular shop, but increase each of their prices by like 500 dream points, and then give it to, and then make the premium pass get you like 1,000 more dream shards, because, or not dream shards, the points, the sleep points. That way, because I feel like premium players see the skill seeds in the shop as just a mandatory expense. That is the benefit of purchasing the premium pass. So like they end up spending that money on the stuff anyway. They end up spending the sleep points on that stuff anyway. So really, if you just made it available to everybody, but it like never, it was very difficult to save up for, then the only thing that it does is, yeah, they're still enticing people to purchase the premium pass. Because ultimately, I think we have to respect that we do want people to purchase the premium pass. Because if people don't purchase the premium pass, they won't have the money to develop the game. That's just the way it is. So money still makes the world go around. You still have to make there be incentives to purchase the premium pass. So I was like, well, if you increase the price of it so that it was really, really difficult for free-to-play players to get, then it would be, but still possible, so that you could get one every once in a while for your skill specialist, then the premium players would still purchase the premium pass. It would still be enticing. And at the same time, then it would at least be accessible to free-to-play players so that they could raise their skill specialists long-term. Now they're just adding it to the regular exchange, and they're having it in both shops, which is cool. I didn't actually really support that idea beforehand, because I thought that doubling the amount of main skill seeds would kind of devalue them to the premium mindset. But we'll see. Now, one thing that's not listed here is they didn't list the price. If it costs 4,000 sleep points, you know what, maybe it won't be that big of a change, but it's only really going to be a free-to-play thing because the premium players are probably just going to buy the premium seeds. Maybe they'll expend for the regular exchange one, but I think this is a very good change overall. I approve of it, because I think it just ever so slightly brings free-to-play players over to the point where now everything that was possible on the premium account before is now also possible on the free-to-play. Because before, theoretically, skill level 7, if you didn't have a skill seed, if you used all your skill seeds from the badges and you wanted a Pokemon to be at skill level 7, that was inaccessible. That was inaccessible because the only way to get skill seeds was through those badges, which meant it was non-renewable. You had to be very, very cautious with your spending. And like I said, it doubles the accessibility, almost doubles, depending on pricing, for premium players as well. So, overall, probably one of the biggest changes they've made, and they just threw it in at the end of this casual, this is what we're introducing, guys. This is the balance update. It's in an other category at the end. I don't know. I feel like this should have been more easy to find, but I overlooked it at first, and I find that funny. Anyway, if you've enjoyed the news updates, and thought this was informative, and thought my opinions were interesting, at least, then please do be sure to leave a like, subscribe. As always, I thank you guys for watching, and hope that you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye now.